Vanavond is het Ben. Hij zit hier al voor me. Ben from Band of Horses. Thanks for joining me today. Thanks for joining us today.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be with you all.
Because there is a new album in about 4 weeks' time. How do you feel about it to get it out in the world?
Oh my gosh. I mean, Jasper, we were just talking about the reoccurring nightmare that has been, the past 2 years. Well, this one's been like, a monkey on my back for about 5 years. So to finally have it complete and, it got finished right before the pandemic hit. So it's been 2 years, just waiting to get it released. Then the supply chain kind of tripped us up with the vinyl and we pushed it a little bit more. So I'll believe it when I see it, man. I'm just going to keep my fingers crossed. I'm going to knock wood. I'm going to do everything it takes to make sure that finally these stories can get out and not be just my own anymore.
But that's the interesting thing, because some people say, why is Band of Horses gone away for so long? But 2 years ago, this album was finished to release.
Yeah, and then maybe a year and a half before that, we had a different version of the album that was done, but the album just wasn't good enough, in my opinion. So we went back to the drawing board, as it were, and wrote some new songs and changed the production a bit. So it's been a rocky road for this one to it's been kicking and screaming to get out, I guess.
But what was the vibe of that album you pushed away? Was it like Band of Horses techno? Was it German Schlager music?
Yeah, it was hardcore booty rap. It was like for people in Miami in neon colored cars. No, it was similar. It was very similar, and really similar to the album that came before it. The production had been done by Jason Leijdens from Granddaddy. He had done the previous album for us and with us, and Dave Fridman, who produces like the Flamin' Lips and Spoon and MGMT and stuff. He had mixed it. It just felt like almost a rehash of the previous record, sonically. And I felt like some of the songs maybe weren't good enough, honestly. So I went back to write a few different songs. Things in my personal life had changed dramatically, and I had some new inspiration there. And I think we added some cool new production as well to make it to not make it so produced sounding. Honestly, we made it sound a bit more trashy, like real life sounds.
But that's the fun thing about the new song, which is released, I think, two weeks ago. The count in the song started 2, 3, 4. How quick is it?
Yeah. I know. So you're the first one to ask me about this, and thank you, Jasper. That's very astute of you. I thought it was funny because one, I'm like the anti-musician kind of player. I don't know what I'm doing ever. And I thought, and I love like Minor Threat and punk rock songs that are like, what is he about? And it's just like, so I thought it'd be funny to throw in one of those in a song that's, well, it's not in that time at all. It's actually a bit swingy, isn't it?
And now this song is out. The album will be out in a few weeks. And last year you were allowed to do a big tour in the US. I saw like 33, 34 shows.
Yeah, man. I mean, God, the best laid plans, Jasper. I mean, I look at it and I'm like, I can't believe it because it's been so long since we've had a good, long, sustained drive like that. I'm just, again, crossing my fingers and toes and hoping that everyone can stay safe enough that we can do this thing. But it's very exciting. It's very exciting. I do wish that we were able to keep our European shows, but this is a nice pivot for right now, and then we'll return to Europe in the fall.
Your band of Horses, is going on tour with Black Keys. Will it be a support act, your band, or is Black Keys support act, or are you double headliner? What will happen?
I know the pressure's on them. I'd say that they're the headliner and we're the support. It might be like listed as a co-headline bill or something like that, but I'd be surprised if we're playing for over an hour.
Did you ever play with them before?
Never have played with them, never seen them live ever before.
Oh, really?
Never.
That's an interesting thing. You're in a band for a long time, played a lot of festivals, I think where they played as well, but you didn't see Black Keys ever play live.
It's funny how certain things don't line up. I mean, there's times that, like, you know, a friend's band, maybe we won't see them for 10 years or something like that. We've been around so long that like a damn decade will pass. And you're like, how did I not see like one of my best friends at all these festivals that we all play? You know, it's like, you might miss them by one day. You might miss them by, you know, a few days, or ships passing in the night sometimes.
Are there still bands to see yourself on your bucket list?
Oh my God, that's a good question. I mean, there's bands that I've seen before that I'd like to see again, for sure. Namely Biffy Clyro. How you say it? Biffy Clyro?
Biffy Clyro.
Biffy Clyro.
Yeah.
God, sorry. I've seen them a couple of times, but that's another band. We always seem to be on the wrong day of the festivals and stuff. I'd love to see them again. Because, dude, we played with them once. We were the middle band. They opened. We were the middle band, and Foo Fighters were the headliner in this like Swedish football stadium. And dude, I couldn't have been more scared to go on after that band. They were so good. 3 dudes with so much racket they're putting out. But I'd have to really think about bands that I've never been able to see that are still touring. I'm kind of getting old, so most of the bands that are on my bucket list have either broken up or don't tour anymore.
Yeah, so it's good you've seen them. but I would love to see your band play in the Netherlands and then go from the new song 1, 2, 3, 4 to the funeral.
Oh God, yeah, I gotta remember to do that count. We're going to rehearsals in about 2 weeks. I'm gonna have to remember to do that count just to mess up our drummer Creighton.
Yeah, the band will be back later this year in the Netherlands finally. The last time I saw your band play, it was on the Best Kept Secret Festival in the Netherlands. And I don't know if it is in my head or I think I saw a horse in that audience that day.
Yes, you certainly did.
Really? It was real.
It was real. It was real. And that thing was not light. It was incredibly heavy. Somehow everyone was, you know, like having this huge horse statue kind of crowd surfing. And that show was so fun. It ended up coming back to the, you know, I think the security people finally got it over the front fence, and I asked our crew guys to go pick it up.
Yeah,
and we all ended up hoisting it onto the loading dock and trying to put it on our gear truck, and we had it in our gear truck. I think it smashed my toe. Actually, it was heavier than crap.
Wow.
Dude, they busted us. They saw it on our gear truck and asked us to please remove it.
So it won't be in the Netherlands as well this year?
Well, if it's back in that same park, it's where it needs to be. That would have been incredibly rude to steal the horse.
I will search for it this year. I'll bring it to the Paradiso when you're back.
That'd be fantastic.
The album will be out finally in a few weeks. Ben, thanks for joining me today. And I would love to play the new song, but you have to count.
Okay, I'm going to count it in. Jasper, it's a pleasure talking to you. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4.